Today we are going to discuss about a very important topic, that is self-acceptance. Now, what do you mean by self-acceptance? Every child is born as a separate soul. All of you are aware that it's not my forte is spirituality. So every child is born as a separate soul, and how in the process he loses his identity and his true identity, and that causes a lot of problem and we lose our self acceptance. So that we are going to discuss today in our lecture. And I really thankful that all of you have joined this Facebook live program, so we can discuss and spread this awareness among everyone. I wanted to share all my experiences with all of you. So you have found out time and have joined this. I'm really grateful for you. How many of you feel that you accept yourself as you are? Yes. How to know? Okay, one of my friend called me and told me, Suchet, I think I have accepted myself as I am. So I said, okay, are you comfortable with, whatever you have achieved? So she said, no, I want to achieve more. Then I asked whether you are comfortable with your weight. No, no. Okay. Whether you are comfortable with what, I started asking questions, and then she started telling me that, yeah, she lacks self acceptance. Many times our stress, anxiety, and all the problems of life arises because of lack of self acceptance. And why we lack this self acceptance, I'm going to tell you a very interesting story. Okay, how we lose our self acceptance over the time. So in today's lecture, I'm going to explain you what do you mean by self acceptance and what do you mean by accepting ourselves as well as others through spirituality and psychology. So I'm going to discuss both the situations, and first I'm going to explain you psychologically what happens. Okay, so every child, okay, I used to watch Russian dolls, and I used to be very interested in Russian dolls. But today I understand the real meaning of Russian doll. Every child is born as a separate sweet soul, and slowly, due to parenting, however laissez-faire parenting is, parents always want their child to change according to their perceptions, their likings, and their views. All of you will agree, they want child to be in a particular fashion as per. So what happened, we try to cover our soul into different shell. Okay, we form the shell around us as per our parents views or parents knowledge. Okay, then we are sent to the school. So in school, teachers, our friends wants us to be in a particular fashion, they want us to behave in a particular fashion. So what happens, another shell is formed around us. Okay, get that and whoever is around this Mr. Raj falls in love. Okay, this Mr. Raj falls in love with Simran, and then Simran wants him to be in a particular fashion. So what happens? He forms another shell in order to be accepted by Simran of his life. That means he changes himself in such a way so that Simran accepts her. Then that Raj gets married to Simran, and then Simran changes, Raj changes, they keep on changing themselves from the original soul they were born to be. Then Raj gets a job in a very interesting multinational company, and he is shifted to another country, another place, and a different atmosphere. So, what happens? He has to change again. He has to forget what he was born to be, and he forms this Mr. Raj forms another shell. And what happens? A shell after shell, a shell after shell. And we forget what our original soul what we were born to be. Every person is coming into this world. Okay, I'm talking about the spirituality with their inner innate knowing. You must have seen Elon Musk. Elon Musk was been reprimanded and said that he is quite redundant in his young age. He was bullied by everyone around him. Why? Because he was different. Why he was different? Why he was different? He was different because he had courage to be different in his total soul, in his total element. And when he was in his total element and his soul, he could get whatever he wanted. No doubt he was totally different. He didn't put the cover because he wanted to be accepted. That's the courage, and that's the courage will lead you to the total balance in your life, owning your truth. And when you own that truth, it becomes much more easier, friend, to live life peacefully. Okay, peacefully, it's very, very important. And when you have that total acceptance, so what happens in this process? I went through this process, and that's why I'm talking with you. It was very painful, it was very difficult. Okay, because when you think of changing yourself, everyone doesn't like anybody changing. They want you to be as per their order or as per their specification. But it's not possible to keep on changing ourselves unless and until we own our truth. So what is your truth? Many times we are covered with so much of covering that we forget what is our truth. Okay, that's what. So what is the process? We have to keep on uncovering ourselves from that conditioning we had, the from that whatever we have changed in order to accept ourselves as we are. And that is real process of self actualization. That's the real process where we help ourselves to accept our whole situation. So what, how to do it? What is the situation? It is very important for that to honor your emotions, because many times we have different emotions, and when we don't honor our emotions, we start rejecting ourselves, and the moment we start rejecting ourselves, start becoming difficult situation. Now there is so much of pressure from your parents, from your in-laws, from your society, from your spouse, from your boyfriend, from your girlfriend, or from your children, to change yourself to adopt to their method. No doubt we have to adjust, but we cannot do it at our originality, from our original feelings. I'll just like to share a very uh, difficult time I had, okay, in the recent past. In May month, my father expired. So I felt a grief, he had a sudden heart attack, and it was a very traumatic. It was just in 5 minutes everything was over, and it was so painful for me, and I thought, okay, I believed in spirituality, so I thought it is, it is birth and it's death. So as birth is going to be there, as there is going to be death, so you have to accept, and you have to use that grief to for channelizing it. Okay, so I tried to channelize that grief, whatever grief I had, for a constructive purpose. But what happened, friends? Instead of channelizing, I tried to run away from those feelings. But when I tried to run away from this feeling, I realized that, friends, that suddenly my creativity started dropping down. Okay, my efficiency started dropping down, and I realized that there is something wrong in my system. And I took, last 1 month I did not have any Facebook live, because I went inside my core, find out, process that feeling, process that grief, so that I could come up and start functioning again. So J Krishnamurti talks about it very interestingly, and I really liked it. He said that those emotions, okay, which are being told by the society are wrong emotions. Okay, you can't have those emotions, are our emotions. Okay, for example, your friend goes to Spain and he or she is enjoying a exotic five-star holiday, and she is posting picture and sending pictures to you. What you are going to feel, you are in your office in your cubicle and slogging, and while your friend is enjoying, you are going to feel J. You are going to feel J. But what happens many times, we don't feel that jealousy is wrong emotions. So what we do, we try to avoid it. We try to run away from it. And the moment we try to run away from those emotions, negative emotions, they try to capture us more. That's what Carl Jung has said. Carl Jung has said that the moment you start running away from all your negative emotions, as I tried to run away from my grief, which I faced because of my father's death. Okay, I ran away from the grief because it was too much for me to handle, and I was thinking that I have processed it, but I had not processed. So this is what happens. J. Krishnamurti said that whenever you face any such negative emotions, you have to look at it. Okay, you have to look at it as the ugly child of a mother, how mother looks at that ugly child. Okay, she feels okay, no doubt the child is ugly, but that child belongs to me. So whenever you feel any emotions, whether it is anger, whether it is frustration, whether it is low self esteem, whatever it is, or lack of confidence, or lack of self acceptance, see to it that you are facing it and not running away from it, but you have to face it like a mother, like an observer. That's what J Krishnamurti says, that do it with a compassion. Okay, I felt jealous and this is what my emotions are. So when you do it with compassion, it becomes much more easier for you to honor that. Okay, then you can let it go. It becomes easier for us to let it go. See, you must have seen, if anything, have you tried to use stick fast or fevicol? If you try to remove it, it starts paining you. But slowly, within 1 or 2 hours, it slowly comes out. If you ignore it, it slowly comes out of your skin. So that's what happened. Okay, that's what Carl Jung said, that this particular part of us which lies in shadow, because according to Advaita philosophy, there is no good, there is no bad. Okay, everything is one. So when everything is one, so there is going to be all the emotions. Okay, that's how you. Okay, what is yin and yang? Yin and yang, yes, is one part is black. Okay, that is one part is black and one part is white. So every person is made of white and black. And this black part, Carl Jung calls it as a shadow. Okay, he calls it as a shadow, and according to him, every person has this shadow. And unless and until that person, okay, unless and until I have experienced this, friend, unless and until that person accept the existence of that shadow in their life, it is not going to be easier for them to function holistically in their life. So you need to be aware that what you are running away from. It's very, very important. If you are running away from something, how you will know you are running away from something? Okay, it's very difficult to know that you are running away from something, because we are in a bubble. Okay, we are in a bubble. What is that bubble? Oh, I am so good. I was in a bubble. I was a people pleaser. I'm still is a people pleaser, but I was in a bubble. Okay, like a goddess. Yeah, I'm so good. Ever pleasing, ever polite, everybody helpful and all that. But what happens? There was some shadow which I did not recognize. So what happens when you ignore that shadow? It starts building up, and then it burst one day. It starts affecting your health, it starts affecting your vigor or energy, it starts affecting your relationships. Because you start projecting it on your children. I'll tell you, I was overweight. Okay, I was overweight, and I was telling my son to reduce his weight. That's what happened. You start projecting. You start showing it on others. That's what happens. So instead of that, what we can do, we have to look at it as if it's our babies. J. Krishnamurti said, as if our babies accept it, and then once you accept it, we have to release it. We have to release it. It's very important, and releasing will happen only when you are aware and you feel, you let go of that perfection. When I let go of that perfection or the image I had formed in the society, it became life became much more easier. I was facing, lots of health problems. All the health problems disappeared, friend, just vanished the moment I accepted the darker side of me. I accepted the darker side, I integrated it, and then I could release it. Because you cannot live either in white or in dark all the time. You have to integrate all, and you have to release everything. And that becomes much more easier process. So that will help you to accept yourself as you are, really helpful for you, friends. So first of all, my suggestion to you is, what, okay, very very important, please do this exercise. What, according to Carl Jung, okay, I'm not saying this is a Swiss psychiatrist, world famous, world renowned, worshipped by everyone, and my god too. Carl Jung has said, whatever you don't like in others exist in you. Whatever you don't like in others exists in you. So find out what you don't like in your children, what you don't like in your spouse, what you don't like in colleague, what you don't like in boss, probably exist in you. So see to it that find it out. And as I said, ugly child, you have to look at that ugly child and leave it. Okay, I hated beggars. I used to feel, oh, what they are doing, begging, that is my shadow. So all these are shadows. We have to be aware about our shadows and observe it and let it go. So that will help you self acceptance. Okay, then the second thing spirituality tells us, okay, what I am experiencing right now is, there are, they said, the study says that there are around 1000 ego layers on person's personality. You must have heard about enlightenment, you must have heard about self actualization, and everyone talks about enlightenment and self actualization. What do you mean, man? And everybody says that it is a very pleasant experience. And we have seen Buddha, we have seen all this ISKCON saint, okay? So we know how it must be really a pleasing thing. Now, going for that level of enlightenment is little tough for us, because we are working on daily basis. We have to, from the morning we have to get up, prepare cooking and all those things, till the night we are busy. So that level of self enlightenment might not be possible for us, but we can reach to little bit near to that. What is self enlightenment? Self enlightenment means you remove all your fake false covering. These are fake false covering which we are put on ourselves. Okay, put on ourselves to get the self acceptance from no sorry not self acceptance, from acceptance from our parents, acceptance from society, from spouse, from children, from colleague, from bosses, from friends, from everyone. We want acceptance because we want compassion. Human cannot survive without compassion, but that compassion if is cutting your throat, then it's very difficult for you. You will, it will hamper your health. It is very easy, can be done in a civilized manner and can reach to your soul's level. It is very important. See, when you reach to your soul's level, life becomes much easier. Okay, and now I'm going to talk about Advaita philosophy. Why Advaita philosophy? Because the soul with which the child is born is a part of God Almighty, that is divine consciousness. So when we are in our soul's intent, okay, when we go to the soul's level, the life becomes much easier, because our soul, since it is a part of this God Almighty, or the supreme, if you are not believing in God, the supreme consciousness, or you can call it energy if you believe in physics. It is the supreme energy which is running the whole universe. See, the earth is moving, everything is working as a movement of our energy. See what happens when you come into this soul's level. Okay, but by removing all this fake false identity of yours, I'm going to explain you in the next Wednesday how to do it. Okay. So when you do that, it becomes much more easier, friend, because your script, the God Almighty script, is to save everyone. Be sure, have 100% faith in God. Yeah, especially if you are having any difficult time in relationships, in finances, if anything, have 100% faith in God. And when you are in your soul's connection, you can easily linked with the direct consciousness, supreme consciousness. And then each and every action of yours will be flawless. Each and every action will be smoother. If you will get the mission for which you were born in this world, the life will be much more easier. because because why I'm telling you, because when you are in this covering, okay, when you are in this covering, you are blocking your energy level. You must have heard everyone talking about affirmation, vibration, energy, affirmation. You must have seen many people are telling me, ma'am, we are doing affirmation and we are doing this. But then if you are doing affirmation, why it is not helping you? Because of covering. Okay, the moment we start having covering after covering after covering, our soul is entrapped. Okay, it is entrapped and we are not able to access our vibration. Why we have this covering? Okay, we have this covering because of fear. We have this covering because of shame. Okay, we have this covering because of anger, have this covering because of our frustration. See, when we try to show, I was just telling my friend, and she said that one couple in the party came and they were trying to show too much in love. They were loving each other, and they were quite physical, kissing and everything. So what her husband told her, that they are showing love. If you feel the need to show love in the public, that means there is no love. That's what happens, friend. That means when we try to show everyone that we are happy, we are this, we are that, we are okay, rich, we are this, there is some problem, there is something. Okay, why we feel like showing things? Because it is ego wants it to look and feel superior to others. That is non-duality. When you are in your soul's level, friend, okay, You don't feel like showing that you are superior, intellectually superior, career wise, financial wise. Children especially, you stop comparing your children with other children. Everything is fine. Her son or his son has got job somewhere in a very good multinational. That doesn't mean my child, his son got a grade, that doesn't mean my son should also get a plus or better than them. No, you will stop comparing the moment you come out of your fake false self. Because ego tells us that we are different from each other. At present, you are attending, you are listening, you are part of me. You are part of me. So when I compare, when I get angry, when I get jealous, okay, when I get frustrated or get angry, law of correspondence, have you heard about Kabbalion? Okay, it's a system, Egyptian system. Egyptian followed that law of correspondence. That means whatever you throw in the universe comes back to you. So if you shout at your children, it will come back to you some or the other form. If you are not liking your spouse's behavior or whatever, it will come back to you. So it's very important for us to recognize the other person as a part of us. That doesn't mean, okay, listen, this is very important, friend. That doesn't mean anyone has a chance to insult us, to deprive us, to abuse us, to exploit us, to whatever. Okay? Why? Because if you are in your soul's connection, we are true to our emotions. We don't try to hide our emotions. We try to be true to our emotions. We try to honor each and every emotions, but we see to it, it is not from ego point of view. It is not from ego point of view. How to know? Okay. There is one very good spiritual leader. She's becoming very popular on YouTube, Maharshika Preeti. You can go through her YouTube channel. She talks about it. How to know that you are working from ego or from your soul? If you are working from your ego, you are going to face a problem after that action. If you do certain action and if you face a problem, that means you are working from your ego. But if you are working from your soul, then you will feel joyful after performing that action. Okay, so naturally you are not negating any of your emotions. You are honoring each and every emotions of yours. So what happens here in case of non-duality, spirituality, psychology, Taoism, Kabbalion, everything, okay, is necessary for our development. All these sciences is necessary, are necessary for our development, and we have to take it. It's like a Swiss knife, friends. The life has become so difficult, so complex, really complex. The human emotions have become so complex, deceptive. The cheating, anger, everything is happening rampant, selfishness and disturbance. You have to use all these techniques like Swiss knife in order to pull yourself out of this problem of ours. Yeah, that's what I'm going to talk about in the next lecture, how to get out of this ego shell. That I'm going to talk. I've not done it 100%, but whatever I have knowledge or whatever I have experienced, I'm going to explain it to you, that how you can change your life by accepting your soul's intent. And when you do that, friend, life becomes much more easier. Life will be disease free, life will be stress free, life will be much more efficient. You will be full of energy. You will start doing work from your souls. You must have heard about a flow state. Okay, there will be problems. Elon Musk, you must have seen, or all those people, the super achievers, they face problems. Problems will be there, But God Almighty will sail you through. You will not lose your balance. Since you are not losing your balance, you will use, and you will see that you will find solutions to your problem from this universe. Solutions from this to your problems will come from your universe to it. So, next Facebook Live, don't miss Wednesday, 9 o'clock. See you. Have a blessed week. Thank you. Bye. Thank you.